Hello everyone, and welcome to this preview video for my upcoming Skyrim Let's Play series, A Bard Song. I'm Nyessa, or Nye if you prefer something shorter, and I'd like to talk to you about a few things regarding this new series, my plans for it, and what you can expect to be seeing from me. First of all, I want to talk to you about my approach for this LP. I'm coming to this from the perspective of a storyteller. Stories are what drew me to role-playing games in the first place, and especially to the Elder Scrolls, which I've been playing since Morrowind. And I really want to tell you a story. I want to tell the story of this particular character, and that's going to include her mistakes as well as her triumphs. So this won't be a sort of hardcore, delete it if she dies playthrough. But I'm also not going to do things like reloading if, for example, she gets caught stealing, or she chooses a dialogue option that pisses off the wrong NPC, or something like that. She will make her mistakes, and she will keep her mistakes, as well as the consequences of those mistakes. I'm going to be playing from her perspective, so I'll make choices based on her personality, her values, and her reason for being in Skyrim. I will be commenting from a first-person perspective, from the character's perspective, so it'll be her thoughts and her words rather than my thoughts and my words. I'm going to try to keep out-of-character comments to a minimum. You'll mostly see those in things like menu screens, or maybe the beginnings and ends of episodes, depending on how things go. But if I say something out of character, I will tell you that it's me talking, rather than her talking. So the second thing that I'd like to talk to you about are mods. I'm running a heavily modded Skyrim. I have over 100 mods currently installed, and I may be adding more. In fact, I know I'll be adding at least one more as we go along. So that's really too many mods to list in a video, in particular in this video. So instead of doing that, I'm going to put my mod list up on my Google Plus page, and I'll put a link to it below, so if you're interested in seeing what mods I'm using, you can head over there and see the whole list. Mostly I use visual mods and immersion mods. I also use some weapons, armor, and clothing mods, and a few other small things. I try as much as possible to stick to lore-friendly mods, so you won't see anything too outrageous, though I am awfully tempted by the Space Core mod. But still, probably not. I am also going to be using a few personal mods that you can't find online at the Nexus or anywhere else. These I'll be using to enhance the character's story, so they have to do with her background and her family, as well as some of the events that will be happening to her that are not necessarily part of the main game. They will be related to the main storyline of the game, but there's a little bit more to it. Basically, it's a bit of personalization and customization for this particular character. In any case, you will know it when you see it, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here about what these little changes are. So the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is something that I'm sure you're already wondering, which is the update schedule. So here's the deal. There is none. This is my very first Let's Play of any game, and I honestly don't know how much I'm going to be able to handle in terms of output. I will tell you this, I'm going to try to get videos out at least once a week. And we'll see how that goes, if I have to add or subtract, but I really want to stick to at least once a week. Just no promises on how many videos per week or how long those videos will be. That will have to depend, and we will see how it goes and make any adjustments as need be. So now that we've been talking for about 5 minutes now, we come to the most important question. Who is this character anyway? As you can see, she is a Nord. And this is a little strange for me because I've never played a Nord in any Elder Scrolls game before. In fact, I rarely have played any human characters at all. I think I've played 2 Redguards, one in Morrowind, and one very recently in Skyrim, and I once played a Breton for about 2 days in Oblivion. Other than that, it's been all Argonians, with a few Dunmer and Orsimer and Bosmer thrown in. So I've never played Altmer, I have never played Imperial, and I've never played Khajiit. So, a Nord seems like a really obvious choice for Skyrim, and it kind of is, but it still feels weird and new to me. This particular Nord who you see in front of you is Edda Wintertongue. Edda was born on the 15th of Evening Star, in the 174th year of the 4th Era. This was right around the end of the Great War, and in fact, Edda was born very close to the time that the White Gold Concordat was signed. Her mother was Rona Wintertongue, an Imperial Legionnaire, who fought in the Great War under General Jonah, and she participated in both the failed defense of the Imperial City and the Battle of Red Ring to retake the Imperial City. Her mother was in fact 2 months pregnant with Edda during that last great battle of the war, but she didn't know it at the time. As soon as she found out that she was going to have a child, she left the Legion, and she retired to a small farming village in Bruma County in Cyrodiil, instead of returning home to Skyrim. It was in this little village, a little bit southeast of Bruma City, that Edda was born. Edda grew up there, at first in the village itself, but then on a farm that her mother eventually bought. But she has spent most of her adult life living in Bruma City itself. For Edda is a bard. She's been working her way up, making a name for herself in the inns and taverns of Bruma, and she hopes to one day catch the attention of the current Count and Countess of Bruma, so that she can play for them and really make a name for herself in Cyrodiil, not just in the county. Unfortunately, Edda's plans have been rather rudely interrupted. You see, very recently, her mother called her back for a visit. And on that visit, Rona made a request. Well, really it was more of a demand, that Edda travel to her homeland in Skyrim. You see, Rona had been hearing all these rumors about the Civil War, and she has found that she has friends on both sides. Friends who she fought alongside in the Great War. Some of these friends have remained in the Legion and are fighting for the side of the Empire, but others have become Stormcloaks. Now she wants Edda to go to Skyrim on her behalf and sort of scope out the political situation there, find out what's happening on both sides, so that she can make a decision about if and how she's going to get involved. Now, Edda doesn't really feel like she has a stake in all this, except that her mother does, and she has a great deal of loyalty to her mother. So, she says yes. She packs up her bags, and she starts traveling north to Skyrim, even though she doesn't want to, and even though it is really interrupting her career plans. So she finds herself on the border when the inevitable happens. And that's where we find her, caught in the middle of a conflict that she never wanted to get involved in the first place. So I hope that you will join me to find out what happens to her, to discover what choices she will make, and how she will affect this new country that she's found herself in, the land of her mother's birth, the land of her ancestors, but a land that she herself has never experienced before. I'm really looking forward to sharing Edda's story with you, and I hope that you'll enjoy the ride.